Hi, everyone, and welcome to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Crystal Fry, and it is my absolute pleasure to be here with you tonight, as I am every Friday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Friday Night Live. And tonight, even more of a joy because it is Good Friday. Not just a Good Friday, but it is the Good Friday. So I want to welcome you all, those of you who are joining me live tonight and those of you who are watching in the replay. Welcome. As you come in, say hello so that I can greet you properly. If you're watching this in the replay, make sure you use the hashtag replay and let me know where you are watching from. Now, tonight's topic, and I will let you know up front because it is Good Friday, and I do want to spend a good bit of time with my family tonight. We will not be together long this evening. Hey, Tim, it is so good to see you, my friend. I hope you are doing well on this Good Friday. Tonight's topic is the spirit of discernment. And this actually came to me not too long ago, actually. So last week we were talking about who's on your board of directors, right? Talking about those people who are influential in your life. Who do you really need to have around you? Who do you need to have in your close, tight circle? And who should be sitting at the head of the table? Who should be the chairman of your board of directors? And so tonight, I want to kind of continue that a little bit in along that theme with this topic of the spirit of discernment, because part of the role and part of the purpose of your board of directors is to help you navigate through, right? They're there to help you make some of those tough decisions. They're there to help provide guidance. They're there to help share their experiences and, provide you with a little bit of perspective. Well, sometimes it's hard to know what you should do next. And so, yes, you can consult other people. And yes, you can sit in, silence. You can sit in prayerful meditation. You can do any number of things when you're trying to make a decision. But that is where this topic of discernment comes in as well. And the definition of discernment, one of the definitions that I've got here says the ability to judge well. The ability to judge well. And then the second definition that it gives me is put into a Christian context. It says the perception in the absence of judgment with a view to obtaining spiritual direction and understanding. So, hey, look at there. My girl Andrea C is here. Hey, darling. Mwah. Happy Good Friday. So when we think about that spirit of discernment, the ability to judge well, the ability to perceive, and as we put that into the context of what do we need as we're making decisions, as we're trying to determine maybe what's our next step, maybe we're trying to. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be really honest with you. I sometimes have a really great spirit of discernment for others. And can see things that they can't. That's part of what my clients tell me makes me such a good coach, is that I've got that ability for others. Oftentimes, it's much more of a struggle for myself. So I also have a coach. I have several. They help me in different areas of my life. They are part of my board of directors, and they help me with that piece of discernment, of really understanding what it is as you have the situation in front of you and you're not 100% sure. And that's the key here, because I don't know about you, and Tim, Andrea, you guys let me know if you have experienced this as well. And for anyone else who's watching live and for anyone who's in the replay, leave your comments down here. So when you are faced with a really, really great idea, or let's keep it there. A really, really great idea. And you just think, oh my gosh, yes, that would be so awesome. That would be so great. All right. How many times do you, tell me what you do. Do you go for it, right? This is a fabulous idea. Let's go do it. B, do you go, all right, this is really good. I'm going to write this down and I'm going to come back to it later. Or do you sit there with it and get excited about it and then question it and then get excited about it again, and then question it some more, and then try to figure out whether or not you think it would actually be a good idea. And then how many times, which do you do, A, B, or C? Do you go for it? Do you go, oh, this is really great, but now's maybe not the right time, so let me write it down so I can come back to it? Or do you sit there and flip-flop back and forth and actually never do it? I tend to find myself sometimes in that C bucket. Actually, a lot of times in that C bucket. I'm getting better at being in that B bucket because, thank you, Tim. Yeah, a fellow C. Because that B bucket for me right now is because I get a lot of ideas and I want to do all of them, right? Because they're all fabulous ideas. And that is usually where I have to get very, very still. I have to get very, very quiet. Yes, Andrea, my girl, she's another C. Flip, flop, and we don't do anything, right? So this is where this whole concept of bringing in the spirit of discernment into these decisions, because here's something that I want you all to remember. When you get the idea, right? We've talked about dreams. We've talked about who gives you the dreams. You know, your creator gives you those dreams because that's part of your purpose here. It's part of what you are meant to contribute back to the world. And as you have them, and here is something that my master coach told me, and I'm so grateful that she did, because it actually helped me put a lot of different things into perspective. And I was telling her, you know, listen, I know this, and this, like, I know these things. And I can't figure out, I can't bridge the gap, right? Here I am, and here are all of these things. And I know them in my core. I know them in my core that it needs to be this. And here I am. And how do I bridge the gap? And I was frustrated. And here is what she told me. And again, I am forever grateful for this, because this was a perspective shifter for me. And what she said to me was, Crystal, you know, so when God shows you things, he doesn't always show them to you in chronological order. He doesn't always show you that this is the very next step. Sometimes what he's showing you is the end result. But you're here and you're seeing the end result. Remember, there's all of this you got to go through to get to that end result. That reminds me, and I'm going to do, Andrea, that reminded me of something that you and I had a conversation about, that hell is in the hallway. I'm going to do a live about that, so I'm not going to talk too much about it right now, but that's kind of what it makes me think about. Here I am. This is where I know I need to be, right? This is where I know I'm going to wind up. My struggle is here in the middle. And that is where the discernment comes in. Is in understanding, here's my start, here's my finish, or at least one of them. Here is a very big milestone along the way, we'll call it that. The discernment comes in making the decisions along the middle path, along to bridge the gap for me to get to the big milestone. So as you are, you know, again, coming back to that concept of who's on your board of directors, what purpose are they serving? What are they bringing into your life? What value are you getting from them? Make sure that at least one, if not all of them, make sure that you have a voice on your board of directors who possesses the spirit of discernment, who can help you understand. And again, we're not talking about people who are going to make decisions for you, because it's your life and they need to be your decisions. But that doesn't mean that we have to make all of them by ourselves in a vacuum and never consult anyone else. We weren't created like that, right? We have community for a reason. We have people around us for a reason. We have a board of directors for a reason. Make sure that one of those, at least one, on my personal board of directors, many of them have the spirit of discernment, and which is very helpful for me, because it means that I can go to them and say, listen, I've got this, I got this, I got this, I got this. And they can help me bring that back into what's a now activity and what's a later activity or idea or thought or whatever. What do I need to be focused on now? And what is a later activity, which has also been incredibly helpful for me. Because like I told you, I got tons of great ideas and I want to do them all, but I can't do all of them right now. I actually wrote this sticky note down for myself today. I don't know if you guys can read that. It's probably going to be backwards or something, so I'll read it to you. It says, I can do all things, ... I can do all things in Christ through Christ who strengthens me, but not at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, not at the same time. You can do all things, but you can't do them all right now. And you can't do them all at the same time. And that, again, bringing us back to that spirit of discernment. Understanding, being able to discern, being able to identify what is needed now and what needs to wait a little bit. Not because it's bad, but because it's not what's needed now to get you to the later. Yes, absolutely, Andrea. You have to bounce those ideas off of someone else who gets you and your journey. Yes, very well said. And I want to talk about that for just a second because Andrea brings up a really good point here. I'm going to pop what she said up here again, because when you're talking about who's on your board of directors and these people who are around you that are trusted advisors, that are people who are meaningful to you, who pour into your life, who have, again, they have that trust with you. Here's the thing. If you are bouncing your ideas off of your board of directors, you're going to get solid feedback. It might not be what you want because you may really want to do this thing right now. And they are looking at you because they can kind of see a little bit because they're not in the middle of it, right? They've got an outside looking in and they can see all the other things that sometimes we can't when we're right in the middle of it. And they may say, oh, love, that is a beautiful idea, but I'm not 100% certain that's for you right now, right? How do you plan to use that right now? Is that a now thing or is it a later thing? You're going to get that good, honest feedback because they get you and they get your journey. If you are bouncing those ideas off of someone who does not have the same insight into what it is that you are trying to accomplish, ladies and gentlemen, this can be family, this can be friends, this can be any number of people, okay? This can be social media, this can be any number of people. If they don't get you and your journey, if they don't have to have your same vision, but they got to be able to see your vision. They have to be able to see your vision. Yes, Andrea, their emotional attachment is different from yours. When we're talking about being in the middle of things and why your advisors can see things that you can't, Andrea is exactly correct on that because their emotional attachment is not the same as yours. But as you're asking for that honest feedback, if they don't get you in your journey, if they don't understand what it is that you're trying to accomplish, they may look at you like you're crazy. They may tell you you're crazy. They may tell you that you've lost your mind, which is not helpful unless it really is something that, maybe you should reconsider. But so all of that to say, make sure, having the people around you, we talked about that board of directors. Having that board of directors is important, not only so that you have those people who are trusted advisors, but also so that you've got someone else who can help you in that journey of discernment and understanding what is now and what possibly is later, what needs to be delayed, what do you need to take action on right now? I've been thinking about this a lot actually the last few days because I've been pretty silent over the last couple of weeks on social media. I've been here on Friday night, but I've been pretty quiet across social media, and that's been with purpose. It's been purposeful because there are some things. Quiet doesn't always mean inactive. Let me put that out there now. Quiet doesn't always mean inactive. Sometimes quiet is preparation. Sometimes quiet is gaining clarity. Sometimes quiet is making sure that what you're doing is in alignment before you do it. So And that's all been part of my journey over the last couple of weeks, right? Everything is a journey for me. So over the last few weeks, that's been part of it. That's why I've been pretty quiet and haven't done a whole lot. There's been a lot going on behind the scenes. Just hasn't been made visible yet, but it's coming. So anyway, I want to wrap up because again, it is Good Friday. It is Easter weekend. It is just a beautiful time. And actually tomorrow is my mom's birthday. And so I'm going to go visit her. I'm so very grateful and excited that I get to do that because, I love my mom and I still have her. And I'm so grateful for that fact. So I'm going to have a nice, good family day tomorrow. Yes, Andrea, I know that's been you too, honey. Silent and quiet doesn't always mean unproductive. Sometimes we have to work in the dark before we can bring it into the light. And that's okay. Because not everything is meant to be in the light. Sometimes you have to work in the dark before you bring it to light. So anyway, I'm going to wrap up for tonight. Tim, Andrea, everyone else who is here with us live and everyone who's watching in the replay, thank you so much for being here with me. I do truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart, whether you are watching on Facebook, whether you are watching in my group on Facebook, whether you are watching over on YouTube, wherever you are seeing me. I appreciate you spending your time with me. I really, really do. And I hope that you have just a wonderful weekend. Take time and remember why we hold this weekend so dear, so close and so dear. Today is Good Friday. Sunday is Easter Sunday. Make sure that you have space set aside to remember why we are celebrating and the glorious greatness that is coming on Easter Sunday morning. So big love to you all. I hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend, and I will see you all again real soon.